This is Justin AMZN on Monday, June 7th, 2021. Take a look at the 5 minute here. And I was just looking at the open and just thinking through um, when I used to draw triangles, I'd be pretty tight, something like this. And something Amazon taught me is that's usually wrong. Uh, if you're too tight on a triangle early on and it looks like it's starting to break down, even if it looks like it's going to retest, like it usually expands the range. What I mean by that is it usually does something that takes more time to develop. And so I don't know that this really fits like a triangle. This doesn't look like a triangle. Today just really opened not looking like a triangle. But I see a lot of triangles in Amazon. And so I just thought I'd point this out that sometimes these things just take time to develop. Today was one of those days. Looked like we were holding the 21, we were holding the 21 again, and all of a sudden we poked on through it here. That turned into an evening star reversal. We got back below the 21. So the 21's working today, even through here. Like we didn't actually, I don't think, touched it till that candle. And it took that long for all of it to develop. Um, and the triangle wasn't really this one, which you can kind of draw. Yeah, let's get the bottom a little better. You can kind of draw that and say, oh, it's kind of a triangle, but I think a better one would be here, like this. And it's really, I mean, it's really subtle, but these are lower highs, and this is a relative low. And what's really interesting about this place is if you just kind of draw this straight, and I'm going to draw straight as best I can. Yeah, it's jogging around. And if you just kind of draw, let's draw off of yesterday's close or Friday's close. All right. I need like a ruler or something to follow so I can draw straight. We kind of just chopped, like we did kind of some choppiness in here. And this is either a distribution pattern or accumulation pattern. And it actually looked like it took out the low of the open ever so slightly here, and then actually got a close below it here. Indecision, inverted hammer, high wave, and then started to bounce a little bit. And all this really is a breakdown from this kind of just sideways channel here. We obviously did not recover to make it all the way back up here. That would have been great for a bullish move, would have broken through the 21. Didn't do that. It just kind of went choppy sideways, which is what we've been doing for a while. From here, at this point, if you've waited this long for it to develop, this is what you want to watch. It's like, what's going to show up in here? What do we have that we can say, hey, it's either interacting with the 21 or it's going to break down. These candles aren't very significant. The volume's all significantly low all through here. That's one reason I like having the squeeze on here. It starts to tell you when things compress. You might think this is compressing and the squeeze isn't on yet, but it is. It is compressing. The squeeze just hasn't fired yet, or hasn't even gotten the red dot to start it. Even over here, we got a red dot here. And it's like, well, what's going on with that? That doesn't look like our typical squeeze. But anyway, if you were watching this, if you were able to set something up, it looks like we kind of got one retest, kind of a secondary retest, and then it started to go, and it really just started to go with this candle. We touched the 21 one more time. We've got a close below the 5. We've got a close that doesn't quite take out these candles. Obviously, this candle right here does. But this candle might be too late to get in. It just depends on the options. So let's take a step back and look at the options and see what else was going on that we could have been getting some idea of what we could have been trading. So there were some really small candles all through here. I just did not like how expensive the 3150 put was. And at this point, it's a Monday, that's not that far away from Friday's expiration. I'm sorry, it's not that far away from the strike. and we have to wait till Friday's expiration. I mean, it's a Monday. We've got a lot of days left. The fact that this is really range bound is promising, but it could easily have a flash down and just stop you out. It had already made this, poke through the 21 and did that exact thing. If somebody was buying earlier with $100 risk, definitely got stopped out here. The 31.25 strike, which I like to stick with the quarters. So 0, 25, 50, 75. This had next to no volume. I mean, I don't like seeing these, these just tick candles. I don't even think of them as candles. So then the next one would be 3100. And this was okay. It still had some smaller kind of tick candles, but was a little bit better. And I don't mind being 100 points away for a strike. So we opened around 30. Well, yeah, right around 3,200. And being 100 points away on a Monday doesn't bother me too much. That's one nice thing about Amazon. When this made a high, this made a low, right on a nice round number 5. 504, 505 right here, and then move back up to 6. So we've got kind of our dollar range here, and then it goes sideways. And as it goes sideways, we lose a little bit of premium here. And then we get some really small candles again right through here, 550, 535, 550, 538. So we're really tight on the range here. And really with this, you could set something up that it's like, okay, if this breaks down, maybe I can get in 550, maybe 575, maybe 6. So you do like a stop limit. So you're going to say, you're going to set both your stop and your entry price. So it's a stop limit, both of those numbers at 6. Your stop, your protective stop, is going to be at 5, and your target is going to be at 9, which looks like that would have filled here. Looks like it would. I mean, it's possible you could have been filled at 6. It's possible you could have gotten out at 9. I don't know, just because how quickly this moved and how quickly this moved, if it actually would have worked. But that's the right idea with this kind of a setup. It would have been nice if it took a little longer. I zoomed in on the 1 minute. Actually, this candle, most of it happened in the 12:46 p.m. Central Time candle. It was mostly in a single minute that this happened. And I have another charting software I could use that goes down to a second chart. I didn't go look at that to see. But if you have a chart like that you want to look, you can absolutely look for yourself and see. There's like 30,000 30,000 shares traded in that single minute. So that spiked the volume almost as high as the open, and really basically the same volume as the closing 5-minute candle. So that's typical to have, high closing volume, high opening volume. But a spike like this, it looks like, oh, well, we're going to break down. That sold off. And here we are putting in a hammer, and then we're kind of rallying from there. So, kind of flip the script a little bit. Let's look over at the call, the 32.50 call. Now, I've got this one up because we lost so much premium here. It didn't really have a sharp breakdown. This sort of did. We had a spike on this candle. And then we actually made a new lower low from this candle. So the low on this one was 615. The low on this candle was 6. That was the low. The low of the option for the day was 6. It's got the little bubble there saying what it is, but you can't see it. Went sideways here as 6 again. 606 was the lows, or were the lows. We came back up, poked above the 21, and then this looks like we're putting a little bit of an S curve. Now at this point, after this hammer, it seems possible that we could have just reversed, and this is a bullish S curve. Or, so let me get the sketch tool back out. So what I'm saying is this bullish candle could have been a place to buy. And I'm sorry, it's a bearish candle, but its sentiment is bullish. It's a hammer. And so we broke out, and then here's our S curve here. Let's buy like this. So buying here, stop down here, going bullish. But at the same time, we had this candle breakdown, not as strong a volume. And we had an S curve here, which worked nicely. And then we have another S curve here. I've got too many things going on. So here would be the bullish entry to go bullish. And then with this move going bearish here, we've got, I'm going to say this being a bearish entry, so getting in, a break below here. Again, too many lines. Break below, like right below that here, going bearish based on this being a bearish S curve, but we have this candle telling us go bullish being a bullish S curve. And I mean, the option's so inexpensive here and so range bound, like you really could have played both. So it's kind of tough to sum up what all is going on here for today, but we've got some interesting small moves. We had just some distribution going on that broke down into a triangle that took this triangle took like an hour and a half, 2 hours really, to totally break down over here, holding the 21 most of the day except for like these three candles, well, these two candles, I guess. We got back into the 21, showed a really nice reversal candle and a hammer, and rallied off of that, and then did another kind of S curve into the close here, while at the same time offering people an opportunity to short from up here because we didn't get back up into the earlier high of the day, and another evening reversal here. There's a lot going on. Understanding the candles, understanding how things move. There were opportunities to be, getting into puts at the evening star reversals that really didn't have a continued move. This one had a little bit of a move. This was not the right strike to be in for that rally here. Sorry, I said rally for the put, but this breakdown here, and it did come back down and basically retested this level. So having a good understanding of both the bullish moves, the bearish moves is really helpful. Understanding the candle sentiment, walking through that, seeing what you would have done live, because looking back at it, we can say, oh, I would have done that, but what's really setting up? And that's why I started this video out saying, when I used to draw triangles, Amazon taught me they were too tight. It was hopeful that we would get something to immediately work, it would fit the drawing, and it just didn't, and I had to adjust. So having to adjust, having to be able to take what you know about candles, about sentiment, about how these are moving, any other signals you're using, incorporating that, and really building a plan that's going to help you take those directional moves with options or with the stock itself. That takes some work. So, and I was a little bit all over the place. Showed you the move you could have taken with a put that I don't know for sure if it would have worked. With the call, if this was a bullish S curve here, which it did turn into, you really could have been buying a little bit off this low. So you could have gotten your low below 6, gotten in like even 650 by 550. That would have worked here. And 650 plus 3R would have been 950. That would not have filled. Okay, so a 3R move would not have happened because it didn't get up to 950. So on a Monday through Wednesday, 3 hours, Thursday, 4 hours, Friday, 8 hours. That's the usual setup. So maybe these strikes were not the right strikes to be looking at today, because you couldn't, from this level, if you got in the exact low of 6, it went up to 9. Yeah. If you got in like the low over here, like at 504, then yeah, it went up to 804. But you're not, or you're rarely, if ever, going to buy the low and sell the high. And that was about the range of the, a $3 move on the option is really about all we got today. On a Monday even. So that just shows you how sideways Amazon's been going. Bearish retest gap today. Got a little bit of bullishness coming in. really, only very slightly made a positive day. We've got a slight gap up above 3,200 after hours. We'll see if that holds. If we can clear the high, we may kind of retest back up to the 21. It'd be great if we had like X marks the spot over here, like 32.35 over here on like Wednesday. I mean, we can get there before then. But if we continue pushing on through, I mean, this could really be bullish. And let me zoom out a sec. Actually, let me just go look at the daily. Because I was talking with a friend about some of these moves, and I just want to kind of look back at what we've got. So I've been having this channel in mind, and we didn't quite get down that far over here. I talked about that a few days ago. But it's interesting having this candle here that looks similar to this candle here because it took out some of these lows, trapped some more bears. We definitely trapped some more bears today. And then it rallied. It had a huge rally up to a new all-time high. I don't know that this is going to do the same thing. I think we're a little more bearish right now, but we've got the squeeze, just like we had a squeeze through here. So if you look at what happened, what I've got highlighted versus what's going on in the last week or two, it's similar. The line, this line does not match up to make a triangle. This line matched up really well with the kind of going through the open of this candle. And then I realized, oh, we're touching this with a lot of wicks, but then we pushed through with a couple of bullish candles over here. We haven't had that push through bullish, but I still like where this line is because we've only had 2 bullish closes above it, which is similar right here. So anyway, I still like where we're at with the lines, but they're my lines when I'm viewing. It doesn't have to follow my lines at all. If it does, I'll be, happy and hopefully get some good trades out of it. But yeah, I just wanted to point this out. There's some similarities here. We've got kind of a triangle shape, but I mean, this doesn't really look like a triangle too much. This through here definitely looks like a triangle, at least to me. And I've got a good eye for Amazon triangles. So a better eye after learning what I shared at the start of the video. So hope this helps. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.